What's up, peeps? Today we're going to talk about what's it mean to carry your cross and what's it mean to be a peacemaker and not a peacekeeper. This is a sermon my brother literally gave yesterday. Shout out JV. He's 22 years old, and man, he's going to plant a church one day or be a leader in some capacity at a church or something, man, because I'm 32. I'm literally 10 years older than him. We have the same birthday. And right now is really like, I feel good speaking in public and stuff like that. When I was 22, I was very I wouldn't say shy, but I wasn't very extroverted. And I'm still very not extroverted. He's the complete opposite. Awesome service, crazy awesome service. What a great teach. And but that's what he talked about. He talked about what's it mean to be a peacemaker and not a peacekeeper. And it has everything to do with carrying your cross. And this video mainly pertains to Christians. If you're not a Christian, stick around. It's fine, but it doesn't really pertain to you, right? Because it doesn't. You don't follow this. If you don't follow Jesus, then this video is really not going to pertain to you. But if you do want to, this is not what you have to do, but this is what we're called to do, and that's carrying your cross. And what's it mean to be a peacemaker and not a peacekeeper? Well, a peacekeeper just wants to not be bothered, but wants to keep the peace and not create confrontation. They don't want to insert their opinion or insert whatever they feel is true, and they don't want to say anything because they don't want to create confrontation, right? And we have a lot of people do that. And what happens is we look at the world today, there's a lot of peacekeepers, and look what happens. Just look at the United States. Look what happens when you try to keep the peace. Ideologies take over that you don't want to take over before it's too late. And we're over the deep end, and now people are fed up. And now it's just sin meaning more sin, and that's not okay. What we need to be doing is be peacemakers. Now, it does not mean create confrontation. This means say truth and stand by it. No matter what, no matter if you're persecuted, no matter what. Because as Christians, we're called to be different, period. And that means carrying your cross. So that especially means how you carry yourself every day. Your appearance matters. How you speak matters. What you do matters. Because we're called to stand out. We're called to be a light in a dark world. If we are just dim, then there's not going to be any light, and then we have the things that we have today, which is destruction, sin, and just things that people don't like. And when we are called to be peacemakers, we're called to stand on truth, and that truth, the foundation of that is Jesus Christ. And a lot of Christians get this twisted. I see it all the time. Is that they want to stand on truth, but their truth. And they don't go off the basis of Jesus as their base. So what does that look like? Well, it looks like, this is how I feel about this. I feel. Okay, well, that gets you into a lot of trouble, because how you feel about certain things doesn't mean it's always true. Sometimes I feel I want to meet violence with violence. That's the how I feel. When I'll just say it, when Charlie Kirk got assassinated, I wanted to really not anything extreme, but man, if I saw someone get in my face about it, celebrating his death, I'd probably punch you in the face. Straight up. If you were saying that in front of my face, I'd probably punch you in the face. Am I justified? Some say yes, some say no. But the truth is that we're not meant to, that's not what we're meant to do. We're meant to be peacemakers, and that means to stand on truth. And the truth is that we don't meet sin with sin. We meet sin with love. And that's hard to do. And that's what carrying your cross is. And as a Christian, it's hard to do that, right? And I'm not saying that being a Christian is one of the hardest things you'll do. Because you're called to do things very differently than what the world tells you to do. And like I said before, how you carry yourself, how you speak, how you work, how you interact with others, how you love other people, how you have to love people when you don't want to love them. It all matters, right? Because we're called to be a light. And a great example of what of making peace looks like is that Jesus, when he came here, he was making peace. He was doing things that people didn't like, right? And one of the best examples of that is like when he was in the temple and he was flipping tables, because essentially what the people were doing in the temple were selling and bargaining and not keeping the temple a holy place to glorify God. And he just flipped tables. And literally said, "It's like, you're doing this in my Father's house," and just like flipping tables. He wasn't purposely being he was being purposely confrontational, but he came to make peace. He didn't come to keep the peace. Keeping the peace with him being like, "Oh, well, they've been doing this for a while. They're really not doing anything wrong. I mean, they are bartering. They do have to make money somehow. It's kind of poor. The Roman Empire's, kind of putting hard on them. All right, I'll let it pass." Like, no. Like, if you truly had hope in God, you wouldn't care about all the things that you were struggling with. You wouldn't be selling in God's holy temple, right? And so he just flipped tables and he kicked them all out. People didn't like that. Pharisees didn't like that. It was one of the reasons why, like, that was one pivotal moment that like led to them wanting to kill him, right? But it was written in the whole story anyways. Like, it was meant for him to die on the cross, right? That was the plan. And you might not be getting this. If you're not a Christian, again, you might not be understanding this. Like, what? But this is what we're called to do. We're called to make peace, not keep the peace. But we also have to carry our cross at the same time. And that balance between the two is why we need Jesus to stand on and have hope in him. Because we cannot do it on our own. Because if we did it on our own, we'd fall to sin right away. Right? I just gave an example of how everyone in the United States can fall to sin immediately. Right? Hate meets hate. Sin meets sin. What we have to do is call the opposite. We have to forgive others, right? As we have been forgiven. And it's super hard to comprehend that, right? Which is why we're flawed. Which is why we're all sinners. It's why we deserve the death that Jesus had, but he did it for us. So it's all washed away, right? Doesn't mean it gives you an excuse to just sin and be like, That's not what I'm saying. Called to be Christ-like, we're called to carry our cross. Very complex, very complicated. It's complicated, but it's simple, right? So we have to keep practicing every day. Practice your faith, practice your faith, practice your faith. Train daily. Be disciplined in your training, which is reading your Bible, reading the Gospels, serving others, being obedient in all ways by tithing, sharing your faith, serving others, reading your Bible, and just gathering and worshiping, right? 5 daily disciplines. Really do that all the time. And that's not the work you have to do to get into heaven. It's just the disciplines to do to bring kingdom heaven down to earth, right? If we follow those things, if everyone followed those things, I think the world would be a better place, period, right? But it's hard because we give into sin a lot of times. We have a hard time denying our flesh. And that's what it means to carry our cross. It's a daily. That's why we wear crosses. It's not to say we're a Christian, although it does mean that, right? But when we wear a cross, which I barely wear mine, but what that means is that it's a reminder that I carry this every day for a reason. It's not just a look. It's not just to let you know that I'm a Christian, because that doesn't mean anything. Like, the representation of you looking at a cross on me doesn't mean anything if I don't carry myself the way I should be carrying myself as a Christian. What it means is that I carry this, and it's a reminder. It's actually for you. If you're wearing a cross, this ring means nothing, right? If I cheat on my wife or something like that, right? But this is a reminder that I made a covenant between me, my wife, and God, right? Us two with him, person. And that's what that means. Same thing with the cross. The cross, we carry that cross because we made a promise to him. Or that we're saved through him, and we get to share the gospel through that. So it is an outward way to share the gospel. People see the cross on us. I think now it gets twisted because everyone wears a cross now. If you're Italian, if you were ethnic, any way, wearing a cross is just a cultural thing. But it truly means that you are carrying that cross because we're trying to bring kingdom of heaven to earth. Sorry, I just ran 3 miles and I'm freaking exhausted. So yeah, that was the sermon yesterday. It was awesome. Shout out JB, amazing teacher. I can't wait to just see him grow and just lead and see where he goes, which would be really cool. In other news, I picked up some cards yesterday, and let's get right into it. All right, let's go over the pickups from the card shop. I didn't really find much, to be quite honest with you. I really picked through it last week very well, and this week was pretty much the same cards, and I really was kind of not interested in any of the cards because they were the same cards I saw last week. So it is what it is. But I did pick up a few that kind of stood out to me. They were kind of new, and just these two stood out to me the most because I've been watching the TV show, the first season, Indigo League, on Netflix, because why not, right? And I picked up a Caterpie. This is from the set Journey Together. Just a cool artwork. Nothing special about it. Just a common card. And then I picked up the Reverse Hollow Butterfree. And Butterfree is the GOAT, man. If you watch the first season of Indigo League, you know that Butterfree is the GOAT. Caterpie, Metapod, and Butterfree. The GOAT, man. Like, Ash's first, like, besides Pikachu, like, true Pokemon that was, like, his best friend. And I don't know, just the TV show, it just brought back a lot of memories, and I think these artworks are really nice. He's a glow in the binder, and I'll just hold them together. I think Butterfree's like one of my definitely my top 5 Pokemon. Top 10. I wouldn't say 5. These were $1 each, by the way. Then I found this Chinese Reverse Hollow Master Ball Umbreon. You might not see the Master Ball, just because the Reverse Hollow is even hard to see, or call it a Moonbreon. I thought it's just cool artwork. I already have the other versions of the Chinese. I have a Jolteon, and then I have a Leafeon Pokeball. Then I have a, I think that's it. But I got the Master Ball, and it looked cool, and it was $1. I was like, I'll pick this up. Why not, right? Then I picked something up for my wife. She likes Phanpy, and who doesn't like Phanpy? I think it's just a sweet Pokemon, like just a sweetheart of a Pokemon. This is also a really clean card. Like, no damage at all. Like, whoever sold all of their Japanese cards to the card shop, you did a good job taking care of these cards. There's literally no damage on it, nothing. It's also a common card, so I don't know. It doesn't really hold a lot of scratches. But regardless, great card. Got it for my wife. It was $1. Then I picked up a card. Forget the professor's name. Is it Professor Elm, 2nd gen, right? Johto. I think it's Professor Elm, holding a little Cyndaquil, a baby Cyndaquil. And if you guys know, my favorite Pokemon is Typhlosion, and Cyndaquil is just like one of those little, I don't know, just like a little badger baby, you know? But I love this card. It's super cute. It stood out to me right away because I was like, that's Cyndaquil. It's little Cyndaquil. He doesn't have his flames on his back, but that's him. So I thought it was cool. That'll go in the Typhlosion side binder of the binder, duh. And then I picked up a Mega Evolutions booster pack, and I pulled something, and I like the quality of the cards are awesome. I got a hit. It's not a big hit, but it's a hit nonetheless. I got the Mega Kangaskhan, I can't even say the name right, EX. I just like the blue and the orange. Cool looking card, right? Like, it's nothing crazy, right? It's not like an SIR, but like, it's a nice card. And I gotta tell you something. I think Scarlet and Violet print quality sucked. The centering, also the little white dots on the edge, just Scarlet and Violet altogether as a set, as a whole complete generation of releases, printing quality sucked. Mega Evolutions, when I was going through these cards, even the common cards, which I don't have, I gave them away. Really nice. And then this quality of card, the texturing, like with the lines and just like, it reminds me of like just Japanese, quality prints. These are really nice. And although Mega Evolutions is getting kind of not hated on, right? This card especially, like this Pokemon, gets hated on because like, who cares about Kangaskhan? I mean, it's a
it's the first gen Pokemon. I like it. But like, I think Mega Evolutions is it's gonna crush. I think it's gonna be. I don't think it's overhyped. I don't think it's hyped enough. That being said, I don't believe things should be as overpriced as they are right now. But what I am saying is that these future sets that they kind of like I think I'll put it up here. This is like what it's speculating of like the release date, but there's gonna be Sapphire, Ruby, Emerald, like that. Just okay, that's that's Hoenn. I was gonna say Kanto. That's Hoenn. That's third generation Pokemon right there. That's my bread and butter. Third gen. And I'm just super excited for Mega Evolutions. I am disappointed on how hard it is to get access to it, but I'm going to try my best to get something. If it's opening a pack every now and then, or just buying the singles, right? I do want to have the joy of collecting some sealed product, but it's very hard to do that nowadays. I think after the holidays, I think in January, things are going to kind of calm down. I also have some plays in the back of my head for some sealed product that I'm going to look into when they get released and people are just not, but I'll be transparent. Black Bolt, White Flare, underrated set, slept on. Gen 5, I'm not a big Gen 5 fan, but I do know that Gen 5 has a lot of love behind it. Black and white, and the fact that there's an SIR almost guaranteed every time you open a pack, like it's a very high hit rate. It's a fun set to open, and I think it got slept on because of all of this other hype with the Mega Evolutions. That sucks. But anyways, nonetheless, Mega Evolution, great set. I'm super happy about this hit. It made me feel good. It was like a little birthday present to me. And I might look into really trying to get Mega Evolution moving forward, just because it seems very available to get, and it's Pokemon I like, that I'm familiar with, and it's not sets that I'm really unfamiliar with. And I think that was a problem with Scarlet and Violet for a lot of people, and that's why Destined Rivals, 151, Journey Together were really successful, is because it spoke to the millennials that obviously have a lot of money, who are in their 30s and 40s. And the rest of the sets spoke to the younger generation, but I didn't like the other sets. Like, I don't like anything past Gen 5. I'm just kind of like, what the frick is that? Is that a set of keys? That is Gen 5, right? I'm gonna put whatever Pokemon this is. It's weird. Doesn't make sense. Like, what is this? Or there's another, like, it just after Gen 5, Pokemon design fell off. That's my hot take. But truly, I really think that. Doesn't mean that Pokemon's not cool, but like, man, freaking weirder. Pokemon's weird to begin with, but they just ran out of ideas, I think, or creatively. Hot take. Anyways, guys, that's the recent pickups. Hope you enjoyed it. Like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.